Hey, I'm not scared of you.
Sounding like footprints from like a human or something.
There's something in there. Yeah, look. Is it a...
The first video tonight comes from Rush Outdoors, a UK-based outdoor adventure channel focused on wild camping, overnight stays, and exploring remote bothies. The channel combines practical outdoor skills with real-time exploration and historical backstory, occasionally leaning into light, eerie moments while keeping everything grounded and unscripted. It is February 8, 2026, at Nantes City in Bothy, Elan Valley, Wales, United Kingdom.
So we got a couple of visitors that are gonna look like they stay here with us tonight, which is fine. Need to do something about that puddle and this mud in front of the door. It's awful. Could do with a bit of a work party, I reckon. So nothing special for tea tonight, just the dull Neo mac and cheese that I've become accustomed to. The boys, however, got sausages and some ham and cheese toasties, and they're banging.
Really nice. These bangers are banging.
And been joined by a few other people in the room next door now, so we got 4 other guys and 2 ladies. We're gonna have some tea first before we go back in the room, which is now lovely and toasty warm. Banging. Oh, this is not a good thing to be doing now.
The Ouija board session begins in a light-hearted manner. No clear movement or communication occurs, but the stillness inside the bothy makes every small creak and shift in air pressure more noticeable. The unease here stems more from environment than evidence.
Alarm. It's just gone off upstairs because we mentioned the M word. No chance. Don't. So it's been a good night by all in the bothy. There's still people in there chilling. I'm packing away. Or I have.
Without warning, a fire alarm upstairs activates. The sudden noise sharply contrasts the prior silence, startling everyone. Given the age of the building and fluctuating temperatures common in stone bothies at night, a false trigger is plausible. But the timing, occurring moments after initiating the session, amplifies the psychological impact. A second alarm sounds shortly after. Nervous laughter follows, but there is visible tension. While no direct paranormal cause is demonstrated, the repeated activation forces the group to consider practical explanations, battery faults, moisture, or residual heat, while acknowledging how quickly atmosphere can influence perception. Following the alarms, the night remains calm. No further disturbances occur. The group pack up and leave the bothy under complete darkness, navigating carefully through the valley. The host reflects on the experience as an enjoyable and slightly tense overnighter, rather than a confirmed paranormal encounter. The alarms, while dramatic, are likely environmental or mechanical in origin. What stands out is how isolation, folklore, and timing can transform an otherwise ordinary event into something far more unsettling in the moment. The video ultimately reinforces a grounded takeaway. In remote locations steeped in history, atmosphere can be powerful. but not every scare requires a supernatural explanation. Before we move on, if you're enjoying the video so far, leaving a like really helps. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's a good time. We recently passed 50,000 subscribers, and that's entirely because of you. The next target is 100,000 before the end of the year. Ambitious, but worth aiming for. There's a hidden word somewhere in this video. See if you can spot it. Now, let's continue. The next horrifying video comes from T Will Explore, a UK-based urban exploration channel focused on abandoned hospitals, factories, schools, and other historic sites. The channel documents real-time explorations with minimal exaggeration, allowing the natural atmosphere and structural decay to create tension. It is February 9th, 2026 in Pennsylvania, United States.
Yo, this door just shut by itself. You guys saw that? What the f***? Hey, I'm not scared of you.
Upon entering the abandoned hospital, the explorer moves cautiously through long corridors lined with peeling paint, graffiti, and damaged door frames. Almost immediately, a door slams shut behind him. The sound echoes sharply through the empty hallway, catching him off guard. While air pressure shifts or drafts are possible in large, decaying buildings, the suddenness of the movement immediately shifts the tone from calm exploration to heightened alertness.
Yo, I'm lost. I don't know which way I came. Was it this way or this way? The door with the E on it. Oh my God, they look identical.
As he progresses deeper inside, the repetitive layout begins to disorient him. Identical corridors and uniform patient rooms make navigation confusing. In environments like abandoned hospitals, symmetry and repetition can quickly erode spatial awareness, increasing psychological tension, even without direct threat.
There's the one, and here's the upstairs. Look at upstairs, what it looks like. Crazy, right? Oh. But yeah, again, back to my point. Which way am I going? Oh, this way.
The focus shifts from eerie atmosphere to very real physical risk, emphasizing how easily explorers can become trapped or injured inside deteriorating buildings.
My God, the floor goes down right here. I'm on the 3rd floor right now, by the way, guys. Just so you know. If you haven't been keeping up, I am on the 3rd floor. And this is a kitchen of some sort. I don't know if it was for the patients, for the staff. A major part of the treatment here in this hospital is fresh air. Literally, fresh air was part of their treatment.
The tension here stems not from paranormal suggestion, but from the legitimate danger posed by gravity and decay.
Coming from behind me? Anybody up here? Oh, let's just go around. Let's get the hell out of here. We're gonna go all the way down. So that's where we were a second ago. We were just in here. I can't believe I'm in a mental.
A sudden light appears behind him, prompting immediate concern. Whether another person, external vehicle light, or reflection from outside, the uncertainty forces a rapid decision. He chooses to exit rather than investigate further, prioritizing safety over curiosity. The retreat through unstable corridors adds urgency to the final moments of the exploration. The hospital's labyrinth-like design, collapsed stairwells, and structural damage create an environment that is both visually striking and genuinely hazardous. While the door slam and unexplained light introduce unsettling moments, the most persistent threat throughout the video is the building itself. After exiting safely, the explorer reflects on the hospital's past as a mental institution, including features such as open-air balconies, once used for patient treatment. The experience underscores how abandoned medical facilities combine heavy historical context with significant physical risk. The video leaves a lasting impression, not because of confirmed paranormal activity, but because of isolation, confusion, and the ever-present danger of navigating a large, unstable structure alone. The next chilling video comes from CLD Productions, a US-based paranormal investigation channel run by Christian, Lucas, and David. Their content centers on overnight explorations of reportedly haunted cemeteries and historic sites, using EVP recorders, EMF-style devices, and real-time spirit communication methods to document unexplained activity with minimal editing and natural reactions. It is New Year's night, uploaded January 5th, 2026, at Newtonia Civil War Cemetery, Missouri, United States.
Okay, so we're out of the car now, and we're walking around. This place is creepy.
That was weird.
Yeah,
Maybe we have a child.
We're already out here. We thought we were already starting to hear crap. There was like a scream a second ago, although it could have been a...
Estimated 400 to 600 graves here.
Yeah, 400, 600 graves. Yeah.
A lot of them were African American slaves who died during the Civil War.
Very tragic.
The investigation begins on New Year's night at the isolated Civil War Cemetery. The location is described as expansive, remote, and already unsettling before they fully step away from the vehicle. As they walk among the graves, a distant scream or sharp screech cuts through the silence. They briefly consider whether it could be a passing vehicle or wildlife, but the ambiguity immediately shifts the mood. Their EMF-style device spikes unexpectedly. With no visible power sources or electronics nearby, the sudden jump increases tension as they prepare to begin communication beneath a large tree within the cemetery grounds.
Like a twig.
Whoa. Heard it again.
Is there something moving over there? Oh, let me use the big flashlight. It sounds like there's someone moving, like something moving over there. Like snapping, like moving branches and stuff.
Yeah. Sounded like
Yeah, and then it sounded like someone like shuffling past like branches.
After placing a recorder out in the cemetery and returning to the car to warm up, distinct twig snaps and shuffling sounds are heard coming from the darkness. The movement appears close enough to cause genuine concern. Lucas quickly returns to the vehicle, visibly unsettled by what he experienced while briefly alone.
That sounds weird.
It's like clicking.
yeah.
That sounds like a breath.
Yeah.
It was like
What? It's going off again.
Hey there, it did it again. On the recording, it did it again. It just keeps clicking.
Is it any of this stuff?
Whoa. Hold on.
No, it's not.
Turn it off and then turn it.
A louder, sharper sound is heard during playback. They confirm they were inside the vehicle at the time and could not have produced it. While wind or environmental shifts remain possible explanations, the sound does not clearly resemble anything they recall hearing live.
You see that black thing in the field? You see it?
That's maxing again.
There's something black in the field. There's something in there. Yeah, look. Is it a cow? Can you see the lights? Or the eyes on it?
No.
Right there.
While scanning the cemetery and surrounding field, they initially observe reflective points they assume could be grave markers catching light. Further beyond the tree line, however, they notice a solid dark shape standing motionless in the field. two bright reflective points appear at head height, facing in their direction. They consider whether it could be livestock, such as a cow, but the stillness and distance create visible unease. The tone shifts noticeably from curiosity to caution as they continue observing the shape without approaching. This New Year's investigation escalates gradually rather than through a single dramatic moment. A distant scream early in the night, an unexpected EMF spike, movement heard in the woods, breathing and clicking captured on an unattended recorder, and finally, a dark figure in the field with reflective points resembling eyes. By the end of part 1, the group's tone has changed entirely. While natural explanations remain possible for each event individually, the accumulation of incidents creates an atmosphere of sustained tension. What lingers most is not definitive proof of the paranormal, but the impression that something, human, animal, or otherwise, may have been aware of their presence in the cemetery that night. The next shocking video of the night comes from Redneck Paranormalist, a US-based paranormal investigation channel exploring historic cemeteries, abandoned chapels, and allegedly haunted locations. The channel blends on-location history with real-time reactions, keeping investigations respectful while documenting tense and immersive moments. It is January 6, 2026, at Zion Chapel of Ease, Hilton Head Island, South Carolina, United States. The investigation begins at the historic Zion Chapel of Ease, a Revolutionary War-era chapel and graveyard. Before any equipment is fully deployed, the investigators comment on feeling uneasy. The grounds are dark, enclosed by dense trees, and visibility is limited.
So what you described it was very, yeah.
Because it literally looked like a head of curls. Very gorgeous curls. What do you say so? Did I just see you over there, or is that another spirit that is in this graveyard? Okay, so we have two.
Near benches inside the graveyard, one investigator reports seeing what appears to be a human-like figure with curly hair. The sighting is brief and disappears almost instantly. The specificity of the description intensifies the moment, even though no clear visual confirmation is captured on camera.
It's like freaking shadows of people.
Oh, yeah, I can see it.
Like from this angle, it looks like two people.
Yeah, it does.
Well, it's not the, it's the shadow that's why, not the true thing.
The EMF reader is going out.
EMF is going off?
No, like it's going out, like it's dying.
Oh. Weird.
Okay.
Both investigators independently report the sensation of being watched. They describe what seems to be movement from behind trees, subtle shifts, as if something is peeking out and withdrawing. The repeated nature of this perceived movement shifts the atmosphere from isolated incident to sustained presence.
Side right?
Yeah.
On that tree?
Yeah.
What the f?
You see it, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what the f that is, but it looks like someone's watching us.
I don't want
Even without the light. That's weird.
I don't like that.
One investigator points out what appears to be a partial figure behind a tree, visible even without strong lighting. Light tapping sounds are heard nearby. Environmental factors such as falling debris or small animals remain plausible explanations. but the combined visual and auditory cues heighten tension.
Head and a shirt.
Yeah, it does.
That looks like a bald man.
Yeah.
What is over there?
I don't know.
What did the sign say?
Cold. Something.
Ew, I know that's just the bush, but it looks like a person like
Yeah.
wearing some.
You guys heard a voice too,
I heard
right?
a man's voice.
Yeah.
Gotta be what that was. It looks like sound like a Halloween prop.
That was crystal clear.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it.
There
I
we go.
see it.
While attempting to film a shape resembling a head and shoulders, the camera struggles to focus. Moments later, a dark shape appears to rush forward in their direction. The sudden movement triggers immediate panic, and the investigators decide to retreat toward their vehicle rather than continue provoking the situation. The investigation at Zion Chapel of Ease builds gradually through layered experiences rather than a single dramatic event. Shadow-like figures, repeated sensations of being watched, brief visual anomalies, minor equipment malfunction, and indistinct tapping sounds combine to create sustained psychological pressure. While natural explanations remain possible for individual moments, lighting shifts, wildlife movement, equipment failure, the cumulative effect leaves the investigators convinced they were not entirely alone. By the end of the night, their decision to retreat is driven less by proof of the paranormal and more by instinct. Whether human presence, wildlife, or something unexplained, the overwhelming sense of being observed becomes the defining feature of the encounter. The next video comes from Side Treks, a US-based outdoor adventure channel centered on solo camping, hiking, and reflective storytelling. The channel frequently shares personal cautionary experiences from remote locations, blending outdoor exploration with practical safety awareness. It is November 27th, 2024, in a remote campground, United States. Time-lapse footage of the night sky captures a calm, still atmosphere. He then walks to a nearby petroglyph panel, observing the rock art in near-total darkness before returning to camp. Back at the tent, he reads quietly and begins drifting towards sleep. Up to this point, the environment remains silent and undisturbed.
I'm woken up in the middle of the night and I hear footsteps outside my tent in several directions. The ones that I heard were definitely sounding like footprints from like a human or something. And I got so freaked out because I got woken up that I could tell there's like probably 2 or 3 of them. And I was just thinking, like, did people come here at night? Are they, what's going on? I was just so confused. And so I could hear them getting closer and closer.
As the footsteps seem to approach closer, he activates his car alarm to create noise and deter anyone nearby. The moment the alarm sounds, the footsteps cease entirely. He scans the campsite using his brightest torch, but sees no visible figure and hears no retreating movement.
And left the campground. And I eventually just fell asleep in my car. I got the worst sleep ever. Being back here has brought up some memories and some of those feelings.
Unable to shake the feeling of vulnerability, he exits the tent and relocates to his car for the remainder of the night. The decision is precautionary rather than reactive panic. prioritizing personal safety over continuing the camp setup.
What is going on, you know? So I spend the rest of the night in my car. After a restless night, I get up early and drive back to my campsite. I don't see any footprints, no animal tracks around my tent. There is a lot of sand and dirt at this campsite.
At first light, he inspects the campsite thoroughly. The ground consists of dirt and sand that would normally preserve impressions. Despite this, he finds no visible footprints, shoe prints, or animal tracks surrounding the tent area. The absence of physical evidence complicates the experience rather than resolving it. This encounter stands out, not because of visual confirmation, but because of sensory detail, combined with the lack of traceable cause. The host reflects that sound perception at night can be influenced by acoustics, terrain, and heightened awareness. Yet the multi-directional pattern and immediate silence after the car alarm remain difficult to explain conclusively. Rather than framing the event as definitively paranormal, he emphasizes preparedness, situational awareness, and trusting instinct. The experience reinforces a practical reality of solo camping. In isolated environments, even unexplained sounds can demand serious safety decisions. Before we get into the next clip, around 70% of people watching aren't subscribed. We're working toward 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And if you're enjoying the video, hitting subscribe really does help. All right, let's get back to it. The last video of the night comes from Shaggy in the Shadows, a paranormal investigation and ghost hunting channel focused on extended real-time sessions in cemeteries and other reportedly haunted locations. The channel frequently uses SLS cameras, music box triggers, spirit boxes, and conduit-style communication, with reactions left largely unfiltered as events unfold. It is January 11th, 2026 in a cemetery, Wisconsin, United States.
Okay, so now that it's set off, it's been calibrated. And the fucking light turned on too.
The team begins a late-night investigation inside the cemetery, placing a music box trigger and motion lights beside a gravestone. They confirm on camera that the devices are inactive before formally starting the session. The atmosphere is already tense, with attention fixed on the equipment and the surrounding darkness.
It's really crazy to me that literally that music box go off and that light turned on at the same time.
That actually was pretty crazy.
That freaked me out.
Okay.
Yep, we're off now. Cool.
Okay, so both flashlights are off.
Yep.
Without warning, the music box activates at the same time a nearby light switches on. The near simultaneous response unsettles the group, especially because the devices had been inactive moments earlier. Their reaction is immediate and genuine, shifting the tone of the investigation from cautious setup to active monitoring.
It's happening again. It's the sideways figure. I think...
Using the SLS camera, the investigators detect a sideways stick figure form mapped directly onto a gravestone. The figure appears to move in an up and down motion, despite no visible person standing there. They note that a similar anomaly appeared in the same location during a previous visit, which reinforces their focus on that particular grave marker.
Oh, they're already talking.
All right there, bud.
I can already go. They just said fuck.
Nice. They were answering for him. They're just like, God damn it, we don't want to do this.
As the session continues, repeated references to red doors and a passage are heard. Names such as Michael and Bethany come through, alongside fragmented and sometimes mocking-sounding replies. A distorted voice states, "I did it," prompting visible concern among the group. The communication grows increasingly chaotic, making it harder to interpret responses confidently.
Dude, it just cut off on me. It just straight up just killed my fucking thing.
So everything is, yeah, that's...
Mid-session, equipment abruptly cuts out, followed by brief silence. Around the same time, sounds are heard near the fence line, and radio-like interference interrupts communication. Lights activate unexpectedly, further complicating the environment and increasing tension.
A really cool jump on my foot. Following you?
Did you hear that?
Yep.
Come here.
Yep.
Near the end of the session, one investigator reports a sudden icy sensation on their foot. With devices behaving unpredictably and activity continuing to escalate, the team interprets the cluster of events as a signal to conclude the investigation and leave the cemetery. This investigation builds progressively, beginning with simultaneous device activation, moving into SLS anomalies, and culminating in a high-intensity conduit session filled with overlapping responses and equipment disruption. While environmental factors, radio interference, and device sensitivity cannot be ruled out, the combination of reactive equipment, repeated thematic responses, red doors, passage, and reported physical sensations creates a sustained atmosphere of perceived interaction. By the end of the night, the team choose to prioritize caution over continuation. Rather than claiming definitive proof, they leave acknowledging how reactive and layered the session felt, ending the investigation before the situation escalated further. We appreciate you for watching. If these creepy encounters gave you chills, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next drop. There's always another mystery waiting just around the corner.